morning. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. This is Sivadavaki from MassMailer. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that has been asked by many customers so far. And again, this webinar is going to be quite unbiased, meaning this is all just the feedback that I collected from various clients and from what we hear about the pain points and the feedback about Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And of course, you should not be taking this as a professional opinion as such. It is just the feedback that we collected at various times so far. And I thought I would share that feedback with you all, and also based on certain information that we gathered online as well. Okay? So I'm going to talk about Salesforce Marketing Cloud and how does it really compare with MassMailer, and the pros and cons of each system, and compare each feature, not every single feature, but most of the features that these two products would have. And then you make a decision on which one would work the best for you. And I've seen clients using both solutions, MassMailer and Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and they can coexist. There's no problem at all. It all depends upon the use case scenarios and what works best for certain teams or departments in your organization. Okay? So let's get into the details on these two products. And again, what is that you can expect? As I mentioned, once again, this is just to educate our clients, our prospects who are looking for some sort of guidance on what these solutions have to offer to their organizations. And it is kind of an evaluation that we did over the months. I've been thinking of doing this webinar long back, but I think I was just waiting for the right time. I've heard many good things and certain pros and cons about each solution. So again, just take this as unbiased opinion. There's no a final say that, hey, this is the best, or that is the best solution. It all depends on what you're looking for. As I mentioned, many customers do use both the solutions and they can coexist. Okay? So I would go by feature by feature in both the solutions, and try to kind of give an overview of how does it really work in each solution and what works and what doesn't work, kind of thing, right? First and foremost, integrating with Salesforce. So every customer that I talk to, they always want to integrate the data with Salesforce, and they want to make sure the data integration works. So MassMailer being a native app, there's no other integration required. So it all sits within Salesforce. You just work with the data that you already have in Salesforce. So there's nothing that you really have to worry about when it comes to data sync. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does integrate with Salesforce because it's, of course, a solution by Salesforce. And it has definitely a native plugin developed by Salesforce. Natively, it does integrate. I think the data would sync every 15 minutes. Are based on the integration settings. From what I heard, from Salesforce to Marketing Cloud works fine, but not the other way around. Again, this is just feedback given by a few clients. You may or may not hear the same thing. So basically, MassMailer being a native app, there's nothing that you have to do with the data integration. But the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, you would have to do some settings. And make sure it's working fine. Again, I'm sure Salesforce support would help you if at all you experience any issues. Email authentication, meaning like whitelisting your domain, making sure your IP and email domain is authenticated. So if your domain is abc.com, you would want to send emails from abc.com. So that can be done in both solutions, MassMailer and Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And you could also whitelisted links as well, meaning if you're gonna have links in your email template, you would want to whitelist that as per your custom domain or the regular domain. Both solutions do have that particular feature. IP address, MassMailer strictly uses dedicated IP. We do not provide any shared IP address just because we want to make sure no one else is having any control on the IP address that you're going to use. And you are responsible for the reputation of your own dedicated IP address that we're going to provide. Salesforce Marketing Cloud, by default, they give you a shared IP address, but with an option to purchase a dedicated IP address. Again, I do not have the cost details that you can get it from Salesforce team directly. So basically, the fundamental difference is MassMailer only provides dedicated IP. Salesforce Marketing Cloud by default gives you shared IP, but you can always purchase a dedicated IP address if needed. Email activity. So we have native integration with Salesforce. So we do store email activity as Salesforce activity. In turn, it's called task. If you enable Salesforce email message, that's where we actually store. So it looks like a regular template. You can look at the content and you can report on it and export whatever you want to do because everything is natively stored. We also store the actual events such as opens, clicks, and all of that in an object called MassMailer email status related list. And you can also add a Lightning component if needed. So we have both options available. And then when it comes to Salesforce Marketing Cloud, email sends can be set to show up Salesforce activities, but depends on how the data was set up in Marketing Cloud. The data sync wasn't consistent. Email opt-out was sync back. So bottom line, it does have integration with Salesforce activities. But again, it all depends on how the data sync was set up. As I mentioned earlier, the feedback given by a few customers was the data sync was not really consistent. But if at all you're trying to sync the unsubscribes, that would just work fine. And again, MassMailer would store the unsubscribe in Salesforce as a separate 3 places we store it. We automatically update the email opt-out sync field, email opt-out field on the lead and contact. We also add a suppression record, and we also store that as a suppression event. So 3 things that we do when it comes to MassMailer. But Marketing Cloud, you can certainly set up the data sync and do it that way. Mass emails, both solutions do provide ability to do mass email. One-on-one email, MassMailer does provide that, but Salesforce Marketing Cloud does not have that one-on-one email unless you actually add maybe an additional package or something like that. So by default, you don't get that. Email validation verification, yes, MassMailer does provide that. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does not have that option. Attachments, we have that support. Like it's not just a link. We actually attach the emails. The attachments would go as a regular file attachment to an email. You can do that in Marketing Cloud as well, but you have to use AMP script, which again, I do not know the details technically, but there is a way to attach files in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, provided you do some sort of scripting. Same thing with the dynamic attachments, meaning if you wanted to attach a different file for each recipient, you can do that in MassMailer natively using the dynamic attachment feature. But in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, you would have to use the AMP script to attach the dynamic files. Email sending limits. So technically, there's no limit, but certainly it's limited commercially, meaning you have to purchase the email volume from us. So whether it is 100,000 emails per month or 1 million emails per month, you'll have to purchase a package, and that's what your sending limit would be per month. Okay? And the same thing with Marketing Cloud. I believe you have to purchase the email volume as well, and that's how the limits are. Template builder. So our MassMailer template builder is quite rich when it comes to features. We natively store the email templates in Salesforce email templates object. And we do support HTML and the native Salesforce templates as well, meaning if you ever wanted to just have plain vanilla HTML, you can just import that HTML into Salesforce email templates, and we can help you use that. We actually also support Visualforce templates now. If you wanted to get the data from the related objects, now you build whatever custom logic you want to build in the Visualforce templates, and you can actually use them in MassMailer. Otherwise, the MassMailer template builder does not need any HTML knowledge at all. You just have to drag and drop components, and then you can create a template. That way, even the end users who do not have any technical knowledge about HTML can also build the templates in MassMailer. And then Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have an email builder as well. And it also supports HTML if you wanted to have a raw HTML in the content as well. When it comes to merge fields, we do support the merge fields, as I said. So we actually support the merge fields from the current object, parent object, up to 5 levels in the hierarchy, not 6 actually. And then we also support the merge fields from the child object as well, which is not mentioned here. That's a latest feature that we added. As I mentioned, you can use the Visualforce templates and then bring in the data from the child object as well. That's possible, which is quite advanced. I don't think that any other solution can do that today, other than if you're using the native Salesforce itself. And then obviously you will be limited with Salesforce email features though, but they do support Visualforce templates, just to let you know. And then when it comes to Marketing Cloud, you got to create those fields in Marketing Cloud, and then you got to sync with Salesforce. So it's not a straightforward thing. Again, would they support custom objects, custom fields, any other objects that I do not know, but at a high level, you can create those fields in Marketing Cloud and then sync that data with Salesforce and then use those merge fields. So some sort of a setup is required. And when it comes to merge fields, again, we do support both classic and lightning notation, which is not mentioned here. And then when it comes to, again, the syntax, you have to strictly follow the syntax what MassMailer provides, which is similar to what Salesforce would have, but certain merge fields that starts with the recipient in Salesforce are not supported. And again, if you're using merge fields from the parent object, you would see that it's the syntax would be provided to you in the tool in the email template builder. So you don't really have to remember anything. You start to use the tool and then identify the merge field quite easily in MassMailer. Email tracking metrics. So we do track all the opens, clicks, bounces, spam, reply, and subscribe, all the email events that you can think of. We also store the bounce reason. We also tell you whether it is a soft bounce or a hard bounce. And then we also provide you the click URL as well, which URL has been clicked. And of course, we capture the reply event provided you do the DNS value settings. We track all the unsubscribes, not just the global unsubscribes. We also track the group unsubscribes too. And then we do have the suppressions if it's a hard bounce, and spam report or unsubscribe. And we support both transactional and non-transactional so that you can bypass unsubscribes as well. And Marketing Cloud does have all the tracking metrics as well. And they do have the opens, click-throughs, bounces, spam, and unsubscribes. Email reporting. So we have native email reporting because all the data is stored within Salesforce itself. Anything that's open, click, bounce, spam report, unsubscribe, or any other activity that you're trying to report on, we have it. We have the performance reports. We have the suppression reports. We have the email activity report, and we have campaign performance reports as well. So anything that you can imagine, and you can add them to the dashboard as well. You can also customize those reports because these are just the native Salesforce reports. You can build your own report types too. Pretty much anything that you can do with the regular Salesforce reports, you can do with the Salesforce MassMailer reports as well. When it comes to Marketing Cloud, yes, you get the reporting in Salesforce Marketing Cloud as well. Opens, click-throughs, bounces, spam report, unsubscribes. And also it has enhanced list email reporting based on the email client, click-through reports, meaning, so based on the email client, meaning what type of device that was used by a recipient. Based on that, it also gives a report. You get the click-through reports and length of engagement also. And then when it comes to like the object in the SF would look up to the email activity, but still needs to be connected with the proper objects manually. What it means, you get to look at the activity from the specific object. Let's say you're sending out an emails to say contact. You could look up to the activity record in Salesforce, but you still have to, sync up the objects manually, without which the email metrics won't show up under a specific object. And some of the features what Marketing Cloud is having, such as the click-through reports, we do have that, but we don't have the length of engagement that may come in the future. But we can provide you the report based on the email client, even though that's not in Salesforce yet. That's in SendGrid. You can always export such reports if needed. Eventually, we do plan to bring in that data into MassMailer as well, way in which you can actually report based on the email client, not just the email client. It actually goes much granular. It goes by the region. It also goes by the IP address, location, and whatnot. So the location-based metrics, email client-based metrics, and the browser-based statistics as well are available. If at all you wanted something like that, you can do it today, but you have to log into the SendGrid account that we provide to you. If you're not aware, MassMailer uses SendGrid email platform to send out emails, but you don't have to really log in or anything like that into SendGrid account that we provide to you. But it is still available. The access is still available if needed. A/B testing, MassMailer has advanced A/B testing features. So we not only let you A/B test the email subject, we also let you A/B test the template as well. We have when it comes to sending, yes, A/B testing is available. If you wanted to preview the email, A/B testing is available. If you want to do a test, meaning send test feature that MassMailer provides, if you want to use A/B templates, you can actually do that. We also have the reporting as well when it comes to A/B testing. So we have advanced feature when it comes to A/B testing. And Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have the A/B testing feature. I'm sure they do have the reporting available as well. But what I could not really finally confirm if they can really A/B test just the subject or the email templates. That's, I leave it to your feedback, and you can dig into that deeper. But what I understand, they only can A/B test the email subject, but not the template. But you can validate that further if needed. Render testing, meaning if you wanted to see how email are going to render on various devices, MassMailer does provide that feature to you. Salesforce Marketing Cloud also has that feature. MassMailer does have it from professional and premier plans because you have to have that email monitor plugin. So that's available in 2 of the plans that we have out of 3. The render testing is available. Dynamic content, actually this feature is getting released very soon, meaning sometime this month, hopefully. Meaning you can switch the content based on certain criteria on the recipient. For example, you're sending an email to a student record, and student belongs to a certain program, and you want to switch the content based on the program the student is enrolled. You should be able to do that using the dynamic content feature that we provided, that we are providing in the upcoming release, which will be out soon. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have the dynamic content feature as well. When it comes to support for the Salesforce campaign, we have a native integration with Salesforce campaign. So you can add campaign members, leads and contacts, and you can send an email to that. It's quite easy to do it. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have integration with Salesforce campaign, but again, the feedback is that it's not the most flexible way what MassMailer provides. Campaign engagement metrics and related list. So we do provide this metrics, but only the email engagement metrics, as MassMailer does not have forms or landing pages functionality. So what it means, so currently the engagement metrics that we provide to you is just only on the emails, meaning whatever emails that you're sending, you can collect the engagement metrics. And when it comes to Marketing Cloud, they actually provide you the engagement metrics, not only email, but if you're actually using any forms or landing pages in Marketing Cloud, they can also provide the engagement metrics on those two aspects as well. Meaning, if somebody clicked on a form or filled up a form or a land, like on the landing pages, if somebody actually did anything on the landing pages, they can actually give you a complete report on the engagement metrics. And just to let you know, we are going to build forms and landing pages in the future. So that's still in the roadmap. Drip campaign, you can do that in MassMailer, but you have to build the logic using Process Builder or Flow Builder in Salesforce, which is Salesforce platform feature. You don't have to buy anything extra. So we do have integration with flows and Process Builder, which becomes makes it much more powerful. And of course, it got to be done by an admin user though. It's not an end user feature. It is an admin who will have to create the drip campaign for your team, and then after that, the end users, can certainly trigger those drip campaigns in Salesforce UI. Salesforce Marketing Cloud has advanced feature in which you can do the automation using the Journey Builder. From my feedback, Journey Builder is quite advanced, and it can be used by end user. If they want to build their own drip campaign, they should be able to do it, provided they're trained on the Journey Builder and how to use that. Website tracking, we do not have any, MassMailer does not have any website tracking feature as of yet. But what we recommend, you can actually set up Google Analytics integration with Salesforce, and then you can add Google Analytics tracking codes in email links. That is how you can actually track the website visits, and you can set up the campaigns and everything in Google Analytics and do it that way. The reason why we didn't do it so far is because, when there are powerful tools available, like such as Google Analytics, why to build all these features again natively in MassMailer. But again, if you're looking for a feature where you want to track the websites, Marketing Cloud is the right solution for you. That way, you not only track just the email metrics and email campaign performance, you can also track the website visitors. That way, you get a full-fledged 360-degree view of the client who is visiting your website, not only just looking at your email. Okay? That's a plus point in Salesforce Marketing. And when it comes to forms, so as I said, MassMailer does not have forms as of yet, but certainly in the roadmap. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have a forms feature. So that's a plus point. Landing pages, again, we do not, MassMailer does not have a landing page feature, but you can always add links to the landing pages if you want to look at the clicks and stuff like that. And we certainly plan to build the landing pages feature in the next releases or so. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have landing pages features, so that's certainly a plus point in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Social connectors, MassMailer does not have any social connectors as of yet, as of now, but it's in the roadmap. We still don't know. We have not really, gotten the feedback on how they should work from the client. So we're still kind of waiting if somebody can really give us a feedback on what they think they should work, and then we can certainly add it in the roadmap down the line. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have Social Studio feature, but that's not additional pricing. Salesforce Social Studio is a different product, but I'm sure they have some level of integration with Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but you got to add that as an additional feature and additional price for that. Event webinar connectors, unfortunately, we don't have any direct connectors to the events and webinars, but I recommend going to App Exchange because plenty of apps that are available. So you will not be left alone, and so many connectors available that actually work great. You can certainly use one of those. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does not have any event or webinar connectors themselves. Again, I'm sure they would recommend you to go to App Exchange as well. Visitor tracking and reporting. Once again, as I said, we don't have a direct integration where you can actually report on the website visitors. But you can certainly leverage Google Analytics integration with Salesforce because it's native to Google Analytics. So they have a package, the App Exchange package that they developed. You can install it. You can track the website visitors that way. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have this feature. They actually drop a cookie on your website, provided you to the settings, and then they can track all the website visitors too. BI analytics, currently we don't have a direct business intelligence analytics software integration. You can do that, but I'm sure you can build any custom integration with any BI analytics tool. You can, if you want to do it with Einstein Analytics, that's not a problem. You should be able to do it, but you got to do all the setups and everything. MassMailer does not provide that native integration. But since MassMailer is a native app to Salesforce, the integration with any BI tool would make it very, very easy. And when it comes to Marketing Cloud, they do have BI analytics, reporting and stuff like that. So that's certainly a plus point with Salesforce Marketing Cloud. MassMailer does provide the UI customization, but it's again limited to what has been done so far. We are constantly adding and evolving that feature. So any feedback is great, but we do provide that customization feature. Salesforce Marketing Cloud also is customizable. And again, what all things are customizable, I leave it to you for your own evaluation, but it does have the UI customization for sure. Quick send, we actually provide a quick send feature, meaning you can send like a mass email. You're just limited to enter the details in just one page. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does not have that feature, meaning the quick send. We also developed another feature called Simple Send, which is more like Salesforce native email feature. On a contact record, if you quickly want to send an email, there's a tiny lightning component that shows up where you can enter the email subject and write something and send an email. That's, I call it a simple send. We do have that simple send feature implemented in the upcoming release. Inboxing or IP warm-up, MassMailer does provide the IP warm-up feature. So it's not just the manual warm-up. We also have auto IP and domain warm-up feature. And Salesforce Marketing Cloud does not have that feature. And then when it comes to contact limits, so we don't have any limits. If you have 1 million contacts in Salesforce, that's not a problem. But the limits that we have is in the email volume. And then Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have limits on the number of contacts that you can have. Price, our price starts at $142.48 per month. That gives you one admin user, one read-only user, 10K essential email plan, and unlimited contacts. But we have other plans such as professional and premier plan, which is going to cost higher. But this is where you start. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does start at $12.50 per month if you wanted the features that I've just mentioned. Some could be an additional pricing as well, but you get $12.50 more or less. You get the features that I described about. But anything beyond that, you will have to talk to Salesforce again. Please don't quote me on the pricing. You can always go to Salesforce website and look at the current pricing. But this is what we gathered on their public portal, in which well, it doesn't start at $12.50. It starts at mid 450s, but that does not have all the features that I've kind of explained here. So I picked up whatever is the base cost, based on the feature that I've kind of described, which is $12.50. Otherwise, Salesforce Marketing Cloud does have a lower price version as well. I think it's mid 400s or so. You'll have to again look at their website and figure out the pricing. This is just high level information. Finally, conclusion. Both apps have got pros and cons. It all depends on what your use case scenario is and what you're trying to achieve. If you're looking for a complete end-to-end marketing solution that works natively and very easy to use, and MassMailer is certainly is the best solution and a very cost-effective solution. But if you're actually looking for a complete email automation solution, when I say automation, marketing automation, you can think of not just email marketing. You can build landing pages, you can build forms, and you can do BI analytics natively and stuff like that. Then obviously the Salesforce Marketing Cloud is the right solution for your organization. Again, based on what your company needs are, both solutions can coexist. If you are thinking of using Marketing Cloud for, say, marketing teams, but other teams you want to use MassMailer, just easy tool to send email, it can coexist. It all depends on what you're looking for. We can certainly get on a call and then discuss in detail on your requirements, and then we can recommend or give our opinion or suggestion on what may or may not work for you. Okay? That's a conclusion. Once again, this is a weekly webinar every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Feel free to join our next week webinar as well. We're going to announce the topic on our website and all the social channels in the email as well. Here is my contact information if you ever wanted to contact me directly. And also I have left our company information as well. So you can always go to our portal, send an inquiry, or you can send an email to us at hello@massmailer.io. If you're new to MassMailer, feel free to go and install from our website. So there's a free trial, and we can also set up the free trial for you and give you a walkthrough, so we can make it easy for you to get on a trial. If you are, again, new to our YouTube channel, I strongly recommend that you go to YouTube and find MassMailer and subscribe to it. We are happy to, again, provide any more information about any other topic, not just this topic. You can always find some videos and articles in our support portal. I strongly advise you and recommend you that you go to MassMailer YouTube channel and then subscribe to it. You can also get notifications if you click on the bell icon. Okay. Once again, I'm very happy to clarify any questions anyone having. Feel free to let me know. I can wait to answer your questions. Thank you. Any questions? You can also put in the chat window if needed. Seems like no questions so far. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. I look forward to seeing you again next webinar. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.